Welcome, welcome. Hello, Kara. Hello, Pi. Hello, Falzi. Hello, Raya. There's too many names for me to read. Hope you guys are all excited. So, over the last 2 years, or 3 years now, this is our third time running Granblue Fantasy Awards. I mentioned this on the first time we ever did this, but this was a silly idea I had on the drive home from work after thinking about the Game Awards. And I thought it'd be fun for us to do something along the lines of that for Granblue. And yeah, it's just gotten bigger every year since. Production, like for us, has also like improved. I've learned a bunch of different things making these videos and all this editing and stuff too. So hopefully you guys can see that hard work, I guess. Umikin and I have put in a ton of effort over the past like 2-ish weeks for this. I think it was probably like, at least for me, I think I worked like maybe 50, no, it's like 50 to like 60-ish hours over the past couple days. So it's a ton of work, but hopefully you guys enjoy it. Special thanks to Cajun this year as well, who helped a lot in getting the assets that I needed, which saves a ton of time, honestly, as well. And also making the wiki page, which hopefully you guys saw this year, just to present some of the images and the images and the animations a bit better as well. I do have an announcement, by the way, a special announcement at the end of the stream. So once Element of the Year has been awarded and we talk about that, I do have one last announcement after that. So do stay tuned for that. Okay. All right. Are you guys excited? I think it's about time we get this show started. Oh, okay. So we got a big lineup today. First up, today, we are starting with Permanent Character Gameplay category. So this is awarded to the best permanent character from a gameplay perspective. All right. Here we go. Let's get started. And there's our nominees for Best Permanent Character Gameplay. Clarice and Kag, Lamorak, Shireen, Ko, Mars, Tsukuyomi, and Chichiri. I blanked on the name for a moment. I love the Chichiri Ogi, by the way. I think it's one of my favorite Ogis to release. Oh, big opener. I think there's a lot of really good candidates here. Like, both Wind characters were really good for Guild War from manual and full auto perspective. Ko's been very good for like Agustia. Mars has very strong offensive stuff, and then Tsukuyomi, I remember seeing some HL stuff with her too. So yeah, tons of good options. All right, but there can only be one winner, as always. Let's take a look, chat. Who is the winner for Permanent Gameplay? And we have Kag and Clarice taking it with an overwhelming 39.8%. This was more one-sided than I thought it would be. Guild War recency, it could be recency bias. The poll did go out during Guild War, actually. It came out during Interlude. So yeah, it could have been people voting for that, but I would argue that Lamarok was there too. But I do think Cajun Clarisse's FA is so overall more accessible. But yeah, in order, Cag Clarisse, Lamarok, Tsukuyomi, Chichiri, Mars, Ko, and then Shireen. So yeah, definitely saved your Guild War. They were my savior for NM250 full auto. So very, very, very good there. Not enough people have played Light Susia. Ko's in Light for Susia. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I've not. I've only seen the Fighter Origin team. So yeah. Auto Revive is strong. Their buff is really, really powerful. Like, it still shocks me how good that third skill is. Alright, let's not dwell though, chat. Next up, we have Permanent Art. So the best artwork from Permanent characters. Let's see the nominees.
Phoenix ではなく、ハウヘトと呼んで。
我は大地を闇に染める者、つくよみ。あまあまちちりちゃん登場。恥ずかしいけど。
バルハラが復興するまでスレイプニルを預かることになったんだ。よろしくな、スレイプニル。
なんだか引っ張られる。
団長、この水着どうかな。新調してみたんだけど。
機内曰く少しばかりダンディーな衣装らしいぞい。どうじゃ、似合うかの。
栄翔マーズだよ。さあ、私を熱い戦場に連れてって。
こうです。どこへでもお供しますよ。
今日はどのカリアスタラがいい？
師匠とうちなら向かうところ敵なしだ。
And there's our nominees: Howhead, Danua, Grimnir, Joel, Cag Clarisse, Mars, Chichiri, Ko, Elathea, and Tsukuyomi. Who do you guys think will win? I personally voted for Howhead here. I think the art is really, really pretty. But someone in chat mentioned earlier, I think this year's arts, not just Permanent characters, but across the board, were really, really, really insane. Like, we'll talk about it later when we get to like seasonals and stuff, but yeah. Arts overall was, yeah, there was art power creep this year for sure. So, out of these 10 nominees, who's gonna win? Who will win? Shall we take a look? Here we go.
もっと熱くなりたいわね。
And Mars with 27% of the vote, followed by Howhead, Chichiri, Grimnir, Cag Clarisse, Joel, Tsukuyomi, Ko, Elathea, and then finally Danua. Yeah, this art was... I remember when I made the YouTube thumbnail for this banner, I had to, out of precaution, I covered up Mars's ass a little bit. So yeah, can't believe Joel is quite high up. Joel is quite high up. I think the art's really pretty though. And obviously there's bias here, Grimnir being one of my favorite characters, but I think the Grimnir art is really good too. But yeah. But there it is. Freudian slip. Yeah, Freudian slip there. Okay. All right, chat. Moving away from Permanent characters now. Next up, we have character outfits. So this year we saw a bunch of character skins. First up, we're gonna start with the male character outfits. Let's take a look at the nominees.
フィナーレだ。願い羽ばたけ。我が炎を止められるか。強行にて我が王道を照らさん。エンデュー戦。少々派手に行くか。後で無事かは確約しない。
さあ光の幕を開けようか。セレスタイト・ベイル。
運命なんて超えていけ。エターナルデザイア。
And there we have Percy, Sandy, Nehan, Noah, and Aura Logia. Aura Logia sweep in both categories. Trust Nehan. Percy sweep. I think my personal favorite here is... I really like the Percy one. I like the Aura Logia one, and I like the Sandy one. I don't have the Sandy one because it's tied to a CD, but yeah, I quite like the Percy outfit. I think it's really nice, and I like it a lot more compared to his other skins. Dad, Mum, you voted Sandy. If Sandy wins, I swear. Shall we take a look at the results? Who will win best outfit for male characters? Let's take a look. Aura Logia takes it with an overwhelming 40.6% of the votes. Aura Logia, Sandy, Nehan, Percy, and then Noah. Aura Logia's is really good. You didn't expect that? I thought that Sandy buys would come through here, because Sandy's obviously very popular, but yeah, Aura Logia showing their strength this year again. Last year they won 2 categories, I think. So yeah, Aura Logia winning Best Outfit Male. Now chat, we all know Aura Logia. They have a female version too. Do you reckon they win female outfit as well? Let's take a look at all the nominees. There's a lot more female characters, so there's more competition there. Let's see. And there's our outfit category for female characters. Horus, Neo, Tikko, Sarasa, Yatima, Fini, Mikhail, Aura Logia, Raziel, Iwia, another Raziel and Nia. Like I said, there's a ton of female outfits. We were considering cutting this category because there's so many options, but we ended up just putting them all together. So yeah, so many options. Like I said, there's a ton more competition in this one. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? My personal favorite, Sarasa. I love the way she like just claps the cymbals. I think it's really, really funny. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look. Female outfit winner. And Raziel wins 21.7%. Orologia very close. Shinpi Power, yeah. Orologia, Fini, Mikal, Iwia, Yatima, Tikko, Neo, Horus, Trio, Nia, and then finally, Raziel, April Fools is last. Which I think makes sense because all the Raziel voters voted for the Halloween Raziel outfit. How is Cake 10th? I am not sure as well. I think the Sarasa skin is really, really good, the Trio skin. But it is what it is. The people spoke. Raziel at the top. Raziel at the top. I think this character is really popular, so it makes sense. There's a reason she has 2 skins, right? But yeah, Raziel overthrows Orologia for first place here. Alright. Yeah, I bet. Alright, let's see chat. Next up. This year was, I found, the year of collabs. Because there are so many more collab characters now that collab gacha is a thing. Now, I know that is controversial, but at the very least, there's more characters to look at, so that's sort of fun for us, right? Let's take a look at collab character nominees.
Duplex Complexio ヒールプレーンアストラペンプロドカムここで決めるいけー
これが今の私の力エンペラータイムまだまだこれからだターゲット細くここで決める
最初はグーじゃんけんグー充電バッチリぶちかましてはい終わりっと2号機行くわよこれで決めるわゴーリャーフォスアタラクシュコズミ系カタストロフェ
時は満ちた。今度こそ幸せにしてみせるよ。
神明流奥義残眼剣
あなたは死なないわ私が守るのよ
最強のその先へうわーラーカンインパクト
この燃料は便利でねすぐ終わるさインドアフィッシュ
So many collab characters. 12 new characters here. Negima collab, Hunter x Hunter, and Evangelion. Who did you guys vote for? So this category was awarded to the collaboration character that portrays the original media most appropriately. I thought the Hunter x Hunter characters, so I'm most familiar with Hunter x Hunter here, right? And, you know, as non-meta as it may be for Gon to like say his line before he punches every time, I find it really charming. But knowing knowing that care they put into Gon, I'm sure like that went into the Negima, which I'm not very familiar with. And Evangelion, I think they did a really good job with those big mechas as well. So, all right, chat. 12 options, only one winner. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Let's take a look.
Mata yarou. 次があればな
And Crawler takes number 1, 24.4%. Crawler, Evangeline, Kaoru, Kurapika, Asuka, Killua, Jack, Rakan, Rei, Shinji, Gon, Negi, and then finally Setsuna. I think the Crawler kit, like ignoring about how this character's like actually good in some cases, I think the kit is really, really, really reminiscent of what he does in the manga/anime, which I think is really cool. Rakan with his 113 votes. Setsuna at the bottom. Yeah, I think Setsuna maybe should have been a little higher. But I guess the votes don't always turn out the way you want them to. All right. So Crollo taking best collab character. All right, so chat, let's move on over a little bit to some other side categories we have here. We are starting with the best game feature, the best new game feature, a new feature that positively impacted gameplay, quality of life, or just improved your general enjoyment of the game. We have animated home screens, free quest for Hexa and Far Zero, calling to quit in those HL raids, updated party screen, auto select summon, sorting inventory by weapon skills, and the ability to open 20 boxes at once, and finally the Unite and Fight Horde quest. For me, that was a clear choice. I wonder if that's the case for you guys as well. Auto summon, Horde. I'm seeing a lot of Horde and auto summon. Updated party screen. These are all pretty great. Honestly, this year had a lot of good quality of life improvements. And it's always really nice to, when I'm making the Google form for this, to go through all the quality of life. Because once we have them and we use them so much, it's so easy to forget how it's just not always been there, basically. So yeah. And the winner is Auto Select Summon with 30.4%. And Horde was very close behind at 24.9% as that. So yeah, Call to Quit was quite game-changing. Yeah, it was, honestly. And I think the reason for Susia cleared as quickly as it did is because of Call to Quit. And Call to Quit, I think if it wasn't there for Susia, it would have been so much more frustrating. So overall, great feature as well. I think another sort of underrated one here is the 20 boxes. If you guys remember, you had to open each box individually. 20 boxes at once, but like Guild War and stuff, it's so good. All right. Our next category is Best New Class. This year, we had 3 new classes. We had Boogeyman, Mariachi, and Fighter Origin. There can only be one. Who's it going to be? And yes, of course, Fighter Origin takes it. I can't really hype that one up. Or I can't hold suspense on that because it was it's a very overwhelming victory. Fighter Origin 64%, Boogeyman 31.2%, and then Mariachi at 4.7%. I'm honestly a little surprised that some people didn't vote Fighter Origin. But I guess Boogie has the Guild War FA, right? Boogie has the Guild War FA crowd. It was decent for a couple FAs there. So yeah. You were so sure Mariachi had it. Alright. Next category. We have Best Story Event. So every month we get great new stories, and this one is awarded to the event that had the most outstanding storytelling, narrative development, and one that delivered a memorable and captivating experience. I've read, my chat knows that I never skip events, but this year I especially didn't skip events because there were so many that were good. There was what's it called? The Accordance event that I've been waiting for a sequel for forever. Zodiac Anniversary event, Grimnir event as well. Evoker's first story event as well. So yeah, lots of really good events this year, honestly. And normally I sort of tune out of Dragon Knight events, but I thought the Lamaraka one was very good as well. So very, very, very good. So best story event. Who's the winner? Let's see. It is are Karim Evokers with 21.5% of the votes. I think this Arcarum event was really good. It was genuinely funny, and it was cool seeing them all interact with each other. So I thought, I think this is a very worthy first place. And in second place, we have the Sariel event at 19.3%. This one surprised me a little, because I thought this event was good, but I didn't think it would be second place. And then Night Paradolia at third place at 18.9%. What do you guys think? Is one of your favorites in the top 3? Guys, and your goat, the Belial propaganda. Medusa's sister story. Chat is just asking for new stories. Okay. Next category, chat. We are looking to the future now. We're looking far off into the future. Or I guess it's not that far off. It's half a month away at the Horse Zodiac. So, what race will the Horse Zodiac be? Human, Urun, Draft, Haven, Primal, and other. What does the community think? And it is Irun. Irun with 32.4% of the vote. Pretty overwhelming. Second place is Human and Other. I think the other vote is mainly because the Ulma collab characters are classified as Other. But yeah, funnily enough, Haven's not last. And in fact, it is Draft that is last at 7.7%. So yeah, that's where we're at. We'll see in around half a month who was right here. Okay. And then, chat room, we have a very, very important question. Extremely important question. What's next for Vicky? Is it Valentine's Vicky, Anniversary Vicky, Formal Vicky, Grand Vicky, Holiday Vicky, Providence Summon Vicky, or that the Horse Zodiac is just Vicky with horse ears? What do we think? What do you guys think? I think it is an inevitable law of the universe that Vic Carla will always get new things. The community thinks it is. Anniversary Outfit Vicky at 32.9% of the vote. Followed by the way, second place is Horse Zodiac. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I think Valentine's is pretty... I can see Valentine's, and I can also see Formal, so... The funny vote got second. It did. Alright. Chat room. Let's look to some other media. This year, we had a couple DLC characters for Granblue vs. Rising. Let's take a look at who we got and who the community thought was best. So there are the nominees for Best Granblue vs. Rising DLC characters: Sandy, Galleon, Wilmas, and Meg. I love that the dragons are in. I love the dragons so much. And Meg, I think, was a really good, like, fresh new face to the game as well. And of course, we can't have Rising without Sandy. So yeah. One thing that astounds me every time when I watch watch all these animations is just how good they are, right? And how much personality each of these characters have. Like, I especially love the Galleon and the Wilnas ones. because like it shows the scale of Galleon, it shows Will Nuss's personality so perfectly as well. So I love whenever they announce these new characters for Versus. Alright, let's take a look though. Out of these 4, who will win? Best DLC character. And Galleon takes Best Versus Rising character at 42.6%, nearly halfway there. Will Nuss 21, Meg 18.4, and then Sandy at 18%. Not even close. Galleon overwhelming victory here. I think Galleon's popularity showing a lot. Sandy last surprised me. I actually talked about this with Umikin. I was like, I'm surprised Sandy's last. But I think it's mainly because the vote was just split between the other 3. Because the Will Nuss, Meg, and Sandy are all relatively close. It's just that Galleon is so much higher than the rest. So yeah. Ilse isn't here because she'd automatically win next year. We'll have to see. Next year we'll see. Alright. Moving back to Granblue Mobile. This time we are looking at main character outfits. This year we saw a couple new ones, and most notably all of them were free to play, which is really cool. Let's take a look at all the nominees. So, recognizing the best Gran and Jita. So these were polled separately. I just combined the videos together because it's the exact same animations. So yeah, what do you guys think? Which Gran outfit won and which Jita outfit won? Or is it going to be the same skin for both? Who knows? I think having the live animated screen for the as Stratos General was really, really cool. And Honing Seeker's been like a fan favorite ever since last year as well. So let's take a look, chat. First up, Gran. And yes, Gran and Jita, Honing Seeker wins both categories. It was much more significant in Jita's category at 60.4%. But I will say for Gran, Air Stratos General was close for a relatively long amount of time. So Honing Seeker pulled ahead towards the end. But yeah, Gran's General was very, very close for most of the poll's duration. So yeah. Something cool to note there. I think the general outfit for Gran and the expression and the pose he has is really, really fitting. So definitely one of my favorites too there. Alright, next up, we go back to our playable characters this time. This time we are looking at best uncaps, so 5-star uncaps. We start off with the art category. So our best 5-star art category nominees. Here we go.
惨めにうつむいて助けを待つのではなく、自分の手で何とかする。
これで私とあなたはお友達ですね。
私は私よ。あなたがどこまでもあなたであるようにね。
広い世界を見せてくれた団長さんたちのためにもっともっと頑張ります。ライブが終わった後が一番次のライブのやる気が高まるんですよね。
共鳴し惹かれ合う。何それ、もしかして恋の予感？
思えば私もドナからいろんなことを教えられてたんだな。
So our best artwork category: Sidala, Andoria, Rosemia, Kupitan, Azal Molina, Drang Sturm, Beatrix, Lilile, and finally Sen. All the art this year was amazing. I think so. I think so. Like, someone said art power creep earlier. I wholeheartedly agree there. Wholeheartedly agree. I think one of my favorite things they did this year also was Sturm and Drang's arts, like, being a reference to each other. I think that's really cool. Let's take a look though at the winner. Out of all 10 here, who is the winner?
あなたの気持ちも尊いです。
Kupitan with 34.4%, which is quite significant over the rest here. I also wrote a Kupitan. I love the little image of the young Kupitan interested at the bottom. We waited years for this uncap. Yeah, it was worth it for sure. Kupitan 34.4, Sidala, Beatrix, Andoria, Sen, Rosemia, Lilile, Zal, Sturm, and then Drang at the bottom. Voted Lilile. I think Lilile's is really, really pretty too. I love the, you know how like there's the eyes, her eyes at the bottom and then her on the stage at the top. I love it when they split up the arts like that. One of my favorite things they do. You're so glad it was an uncap and not a new unit you had to draw for? Yep, I'm glad it was an uncap too. Alright. First, we looked at the art. Next up, we are looking at the gameplay. Let's take a look at FLB gameplay nominees.
From Inferno!
心を込めて歌います。最高の景色です。運気が高まり、幸せいっぱい。はーい。イフイン。私行きます。猫さんたちに続きます。猫猫ダブルスマッシャー。
すべてを解放する。総府剣術解明戦。M ブラスク行くぞ。セイビアアンリーシュだ。
So there's our nominees. This time, one was chosen from each element: Sturm, Lilile, Sidala, Sen, Rosemia, and Beatrix. Who did you guys vote for? Sen was quite nice. I saw Sen being used in Guild War. So yeah, she had some use there. Her uncap came right before that. Sturm has been in a couple FAs that I've seen since. Lilile's been in some of those charge attack teams. And yeah, Bea I heard was really good for Guild War as well, in full auto contexts. Tigers, it's not even close. You reckon Tigers or Sen? Let's take a look at the winners, chat. Who is the winner for Uncap gameplay? Sidala wins with 55.2% of the vote. Very overwhelming over Bea, Sturm, Sen, Lele, and Rosamia. Bea is quite high. Bea was higher than I thought she would be. But I did hear a lot about how Bea's basically inability to die was very useful to people during Guild War. So yeah. But yeah, Sidala's Uncap, very good. And they are the only limited character here as well, I guess. So it makes sense that there are... Oh no, Sturm is limited too, sorry. But they're one of the limited characters here, so it makes sense. And they are a Zodiac, which is extra special. Alright, chat room. Let's talk about a different topic now. This time, we are going to our Illustrious. So, this year we had some rebalances to the Illustrious weapons. Some of the underused ones. We had the fire ones, Andromeda, the wind ones, Futsu, and Zosimos. So which of these had the best rebalance, do you guys reckon? I'm biased here, so I obviously think it's Rumfire. Underused? I mean, yeah. So, let's take a look. Which one wins Illustrious rebalance? It is Zosimos at 30.8%. I think this is one of the biggest surprises for me. I didn't think Zosimos would win, but I guess there's a lot of Dark Enjoys out there. Huh, that's whack. This is, like I said, one of the biggest surprises for me this year. Zosimos at 30.8, second place is Andromeda, 26.1, and then third place is Romp at 15.9. I voted Romp here. I think the Rumfire rebalance was really, really good for the weapon, but it is a Guild War weapon, I guess. Zosimos with the steel chair. People like the weapon. What can I say? What can I say? Who voted for Mercy though? That is a mystery. Yes, that is a mystery. All right. Next one. We are looking at the destroyer weapons that came with Vesusia. And this question was posed, which one had the best design? The fire, the water, the earth, the wind, the light, or the dark? Which one's your favorite? I think all of these are really cool. It was hard for me to choose. I think this is one of the questions I spent the most amount of time choosing. Let's take a look. Destroyer design. The winner is the Wind Gauntlet at 31.2%, followed by the Sword, the Water Dagger, and then Earth, Dark, and then Light. So yeah, the Wind Gauntlet, everybody likes Vesusia's Gauntlet the best. 365 is a different percent. I think there's an error there. Okay. Chat, I triple checked, but it turns out I still missed something. Or this is Omikin's fault. I don't know. It's either my fault or Omikin's fault. I'm not sure whose it is, but at this point it doesn't matter. I'll fix it for the other thing. But the percent is correct. The percent is correct. I remember the percent. The light one was the lowest. Buzzer beat assets. It is what it is. I'm checking it. It was Omikin's fault, chat there. The bow had 150 votes. The bow had 150 votes. All right. Next up, we go to Guild War. Here were the Unite and Fight enemies that we had this year. Soul Invoker, Vipar, Tartman, Fairy Princess, and Gargu. Which one was your favorite? Who was your favorite? Let's see. The winner is Tartman, 38.9%. Tartman was quite popular this year, it turns out. It's pretty overwhelming. Actually, Vipar was relatively close. 30.4% there as well. So yeah, that vote was so close. It was close. I forgot about Vipar. I was looking at the bottom line. But yeah, maybe people are hoping for the Tartman Uncap, where Tartman turns into the cute anime girl. Of course, the meme vote. Yeah, who knows? All right, so chat. Upcoming, we have the Eternal sections, we have the Seasonal sections, the Grand section, and of course, the coveted element of the year. But we will take a short intermission purely to turn off pre-roll ads so that you guys don't get hit with ads if you have to refresh or something like that. So we're going to take a short 3-minute break, okay? You're not going to miss anything, so don't worry. We'll be right back. All right, and welcome back. Welcome back. So, next up, we have our Eternal categories. First up, we have Records of the 10 art. This year we had a new event series for the Eternals. Do you guys like the event? I quite like the event. I think the only thing that I didn't like about Records of the 10 was the fact that they ran the one I really wanted to farm when Vesusia came out. I thought that was very mean of them for no reason. I wanted to farm the Earth enemies one, but then Vesusia came out at the same time. Flawed Prisms, tasty. It gives decent stuff. I think the rewards are very good, and I think it's I think the mini games are fun. Things like that. You don't like it? Story's good, gameplay stinks. You don't like it? EX Plus Simulator. It is like a mini Guild War. I guess that speaks a lot about me because I like Guild War. But either way, let's take a look at the art that we get from the event. Here we go.
Sa, 早く行きましょう。
なあなあ、ケーキ持ってっていいか？
面白なってきたな。
みんなが怪我したら私がすぐ直してあげるからね。さあ、お出かけしましょう。
ああ、行こう。
みんなで無事に帰ってこようね。
いくらでも頼ってくれていいんだよ。
わかった。行こう。
And there are our artworks from Records of the 10. I really like seeing the Eternals interact with each other, and this art gave us that, which I really love. What do you guys think won? You think you picked Cake and Octo, Siete Sweep, Wind or Dirt? I don't care who wins, they're all great. I couldn't agree more. Let's take a look though at the community voted winner for Records of the 10 art.
悪いね、俺最強なんだ。
And Siete Neo takes it with 31.9. Relatively close behind, we have Octo and Sarasa 3.0, 29%. 6, Essa 19.2, both Song 18.1. And then, unfortunately, 1.8% for the Water Eternals. It just seems like the other Eternals were a lot more popular for various reasons. But yeah, this was my vote too. I really like the Siete Neo one. And in fact, I used the Neo portrait because I really like it a lot. I think the artwork's really good. Okay. This year, chat, with Records of the 10, we got our upgrades to the Eternals with their domains. So this year, we asked the question, which of the 10 Eternals you think is the best from a gameplay perspective? Let's take a look. Eternal gameplay.
鶴の音響き心根は止まるステラターミネーションこれが私の最強の一撃だゼロリグレッション
生は偶然死は必然モルスケルタ
悪いやつにはお仕置きだ超必殺技
三面六臂の絶技思い知るがいい神髄記念柱
切り札は最後まで取っておくのさエスパーダ・ガラクシア
これぞ戦の花道よシスコ見習い
響かせるは安寧のためファーノナス・フリド
罪を忘れることなかれトリオンフォ・デラモルテ
Recognizing the Eternal, who has shown the greatest improvement across rebalances, radiances, and someone who has proven themselves to be invaluable. Uno, Song, Sarasa, Katoro, Form 6, Siete, Octo, Neo, and Essa. I think all of these are in such a really good spot for being free-to-play characters. Many of them have like pivotal roles, and it doesn't, like for HL raids, and it's good that they exist because you can get them for free. And some of them are like really good substitutes or alternatives for other sorts of setups too. Overall, I really like the spot the Eternals are in. If they feel, I wouldn't want them to be like the meta always. I want them to be always a good option or good in or meta in certain niches, right? And I think that's exactly where they are at the moment. So they're in a very good spot. I'm glad what they've done with like transcendence and rebalances and stuff with that. And that skill 4 rebalance was very good as well, that they did this year for everybody. Let's take a look, chat. Who did the community vote for? Best Eternal. Let's see. And Form wins a Best Eternal, 27%. Form 6, Siete Tien, Song, Neo, 3 Anara, Iata, and Katoro. I was swapping between English and JP names there. Yep, Form has been really, really, really impactful for those HL raids and solos. It's, she's sort of nuts though. She's sort of nuts. It did surprise me that she won because I thought her being more manual focused would bring her down a bit, even though I thought she was one of the top Eternals for sure. But yeah, no, the people agreed that Form is the best. You thought Siete would be too? I thought Siete would be higher. Like if Form was higher, I would have thought Siete is higher, but maybe all the Siete voters thought Form was better, which I would agree with. I think Siete is good, but not as good as Form. And then, yeah, we have at the bottom of the list, we have Katoro, which is unfortunate, but I think I agree. And I think Uno or Anra at number 8 is criminally low, to be fair. But I also don't think many people have him at 150 or have used him that much. So, yeah. All right. Chat room. Next up, we have our seasonal categories. Seasonals always bring very relevant things and tools to the meta, but not all of them hit the same, unfortunately. Unfortunately, not all of them hit the same because sometimes there are some stinkers among the good ones. And this year there were 3 chosen for this category. It is Mahira, it is Frau, and it is Haselia. Which of these, to you, was the most disappointing? Who was most disappointing out of the 3? Who did the community vote for? Let's take a look. And it is Haselia. Haselia was voted to be the most disappointing. I realize that there's no numbers here. I'll call out the numbers. Give me a moment. The numbers were Haselia 40%, 1,324. Frau very close at 38%, 1,258. So Haselia and Frau were separated by about 60 votes. And then Mahira at the bottom at 22%, 725. So yeah, that was what the community thought. And I would agree, maybe? I don't know. Haselia is really weird because she doesn't do anything new. Characters like Mirin and other stuff do what she does, but better. Frau is very clunky, and then Chicken is also sort of on the same boat. So yeah. Alright. Chat, we can't dwell on just the bad things though. This year we had a lot of good seasonals as well. Let's take a look at those.
Yarisugita kamu. It's Snowfan.
招かれざる客にはご退場願おう。
キュンキュンときめけ乙女心フォーエバー。
攻撃範囲に捉えたルナ・ファントム。
みんなで遊ぼう。奇想天外。王子様。共同作業だよ。
Best seasonal gameplay category. Once again, one nomination was chosen from each of the elements here. Wamdus, Ilsa, Makura, Cassius, Vajra, and Katura. I think all of these characters except one has had very significant meta influences. Will not point out who the one is, but yeah. Out of those 5, honestly, it was really hard for me to choose because I think it really just came down to what sort of content and what element you prefer. So yeah, I had a tough time choosing him. I did end up choosing the one who ended up being the winner. Let's take a look. Who's the winner of Best Seasonal Gameplay? And Makura with 33.1% of the votes, followed by Wamdus, Katura, Ilsa, Vajra, and then Cassius at the bottom. Yeah, I voted Makura personally because I think she has applications outside of Burst, which many of the characters here didn't. To me, it was between Makura and Katura. I had a hard time choosing. Like Wamdus, Ilsa, and Vajra, I mean, they're not one-dimensional, but they felt more one-dimensional to me compared to them. That was purely my reasoning. Once again, it was hard to choose, and I think it ultimately came down to what elements you prefer and things like that. But yeah, Katura was a very close second for me, personally. Dude, the cow is right there. Katura is really good. I think Dark's HL reign with this character sorta nutso, so yeah. Katura changed so much more than Makura did. Yeah, that's a fair point. It's a fair point. Katura did come out at a pivotal point though, before the Susia release, so there is that. Wamdus is criminally high. I can see that. But the votes between Wamdus and Katura are very close as well. Cassius is criminally high. I think so. Alright. Next up, chat. Let's have a look at the summer arcs. So, this year we got lots and lots of new summer and yukata arcs. Let's take a look at the nominees.
Atom だ。そう警戒するな。敵意はない。
あれ？浴衣ビラ姿のコルワって可愛いなって思っちゃった？
ところで、準備運動は済ませただろうね。
この水着、結構いいデザインでしょ？
お祭り男シエテ、ただいま参上。さあ盛り上がっていこうじゃないか。
夏の海は最高。それってあなたの感想ですよね。浮き輪、 膨らませてほしいな。浴衣びらを着てお祭りで僕と握手だ。バキラ号出港です。
夏季休暇を満喫するというミッション、確かに受け取った。
And there are our nominees. I was talking about art creep earlier. I think nothing has shown art creep more than the seasonal characters. The art ones are as good as art 2s used to be in the past. Right? Like, it's sort of nuts what they've done with all the arts for these seasonal characters. And I think it's so good. You love the reflection in Siete's art. Yes, you get to see his alter version in the reflection. I think that's really cool. Easy Vicky sweep. It's genuinely one of the most gorgeous artworks dropped this year. Vicky's art too is really pretty. And Vicky's a fan favorite. She might win, who knows? I think Artum's was very high up on my voting list as well, because like that pose right there, he looks so imposing. It looks so good. It looks just like a king would sit on his like throne, basically. All right, let's take a look. Summer art winner. Who wins?
終わった。はい、解散解散。
And Lich takes it away from the fan favorite Vicky. 21.9% versus 18.7%. I thought Vicky would win. Vicky has the fans behind her, but this year, Lich snags the victory. Lich, Vicky, Atom, Katura, Korva, Siete, Asalia, Cassis, Lua, and then Mahira. Lich or Vicky, you were happy either way. It was deserved. I think Lich's art one is one of my favorite arts. I love the little hermit crabs. I find them so cute. They're so cute. Cow is higher than I'd like, but at least she's not top 3. I really love Katura's art one. I think her art one is one of my favorites too. Alright. So, next up, our category is non-summer arts. So this is any holiday, Valentine's, formal, Halloween. Did I forget one? Basically anything that's not summer or yukata. Let's take a look at the nominees.
Happy Halloween! さあ、存分にいたずらさせてもらおうか。
好きな人を大切だなって思う気持ち、ずっと忘れないようにしたいの。誰だ？バジルだと。
ウジングーにさ、恋愛成就のご利益も追加しちゃおっかな。その道行き、私が守ろう。
メリコリー、パムだよ。聖夜、一緒に過ごそう。聖夜の平和、人々の願い、私が守りたい。
ロベリア、俺と共に幸福なラ・サンバロンタンを過ごさないか。
十天衆のカトルです。あ？マフィアに見える？てめえもペイってみろ！
衣装に合わせて化粧も変えてみたけど、どうかな。
And there's our nominations for Best Artwork Non-Summer category. So many good arts. These art categories are so hard to choose for me. They're always so hard. Ilsa, Essa, Frau, Wamdas, Makura, Katoru, Lance, Vajra, Lobelia, Zoe, and Yiki. Who did you guys vote for? This is another really hard category. I had more trouble in this one, I think, than the summer category. Essa sweep, Lobelia. I love Lobelia's art where he's like closing the curtains on the side. Frau, Yiki. Essa, you voted Essa. Chat thinks it's Essa. Let's have a look. What did the community vote for? The non-summer art.
Zodiac かな。
And Essa takes it at 28.6%, followed by Ilsa, Frau, Lobelia, Makura, Wamdas, Vajra, Yigi, Zoe, Lance, and then Katoru. It's way too good and unique. Essa's was really... Like, when it first came out, so many people were just talking about it. So many people were just talking about it. Water sweep. Katoru's having a rough night. Katoru's having a rough night, unfortunately. Ilsa was robbed. Ilsa's was good too. I love, by the way, Makura's art one. I want to just give it the host's, I guess, honorable mention here. Makura's art one, she's just so comfy, and I don't know, it's just really, really nice. But yeah, I think I voted for Essa here as well, personally. So, all right, chat room. We're getting towards the end of the show. We have some big categories. Next up, we have grand gameplay. So which of the grands released in 2025 and a little bit of 2024 did the community consider the best from a gameplay perspective? Let's take a look at the nominations.
Minnaを守るためにラクリマサングイス
風の声を聞けシックルシメオン
約束は果たされた。月を祈り。
我が爪は折れず牙は砕けずシュバルツ・ブリューレン
ここで消えてもらうわね。セラス・ディアーナ。
星を砕き星を滅すバサラ戦山
受けよ断罪の剣 D オブリタレイト
お清めやで。赤の舞少女。
So, out of these 8 new grands that we got over the past year, who was the best? Yatima, Raphael, Yule, Basara, Sieg, Sariel, Sylvia, or Netera? Siegfried, Sweet, Basara, Raph, and Metera at the bottom. Yatima, all we ride. Basara, bottom, Sweet. Grand, Leorio. Who's Leorio? Let's go Yule. Let's see. Let's take a look, chat. Grand, gameplay, winner. And Yatima takes it at 56.4% of the votes. Followed by Sariel, 20.7, Yule at 11.4, and then Sylvia, Basara, Sieg, Raphael, and Metera. Someone said wind at the bottom. Unfortunately, it is so. Yatima, What do you guys think? I think I voted Yatima as well. Mainly because she had a lot of different applications over the past year. And when she came out as well, she was in so many different teams, right? And I think as a character, she's in a decent spot too, where for like regular FAs or things, she might not be the best, but then she has her niches, sort of like the Eternals, like I was talking about earlier. The fact that Raphael has more than 0 votes is unreal. Maybe there's 35 Royal Raphael fans. It is what it is, I suppose. All right, next up, chat. Another difficult category, Grand Art. What do we think? Let's take a look at all the artworks that these characters came with.
Yachima, そこから空が見えるか。
ああ、澄んだ青だ。
今は自分探しの旅で自分を探してるんだ。
失ったものと得たもの、歩んできた全ての時間が今の俺を作っている。農園で自然と対話する時間が我の至上の喜びだ。
じゃーん。新調したこの衣装、とっても刺激的でしょ。どうや？この装束かっこええやろ。ぎょうさん見てってや。
我が名はバサラ、初代闘神金剛バサラだ。
打天使を断罪し、世界を正しく導くことが我が使命。
And there's our artworks for those 8 brands. I have a couple favorites here, and some of these, as someone in chat mentioned, got the animated home screens as well, which was a really cool addition, I thought. Did that sway the votes? What do you guys think? Did that sway the votes in their favor, or is one of the other arts gonna win out? Raphael sweep again. Well, we'll see. Yatima Sylvia, Sieg, Basara. I love the wolf behind Basara's art. Let's take a look. Grand Art. The winner is...
Yachima は強い。多分死なない。
Yatima at first place once again, 26.2%, won in both gameplay and artwork. Yatima, Sariel, Sieg, Yul, Basara, Matera, Sylvia, and Raphael. Yeah, Raphael got a couple more fans from the gameplay. So, you know, Raphael has some pull, it seems. Yeah, Sariel and Sieg are very high up. Maybe that's the animated home screen difference. I personally voted for Yul here. I have a bias towards like moon motifs, and Yul's has that, which I really, really like. So, how did Matera beat Sylvia though? Not sure? I'm not sure. Alright. Chat, we have 2 categories left. We're almost at the end. So, first up, we have the element that deserved more love. This category was, the question was posed as such, the element that you feel Cygames was meanest to in 2025. So out of the 6 elements, who did you think Cygames was the meanest to this year? Earth has won 2 years in a row, last year and the year before. Will they take it a 3rd time in a row, or will it be a different element this time? And it is Wind. Wind takes it at 47.9, almost half the votes went to Wind. In second place, however, is Earth And then third place was dark, followed by fire, water, and then light. Earth not top 1, big day for us. It'll take seconds. So yeah, I did think, again, I'm not sure if this is wind bias, but I did think that they were a little mean to wind. Not just from the characters they released, but timings. Like I mentioned, the Vesusia raid coming out with the event, the banner duration, like when the banners came out, taking Lamarok out of the wind roster upgrade set as well. It was tough. It was tough. All right. Water 2207. Oh, that should be 207. That's a typo there. All right. We'll fix that later. Sorry about that. Chat room, we're at the final question. Element of the year 2025. Element of the year 2025. Who's it going to be? Shall we take a look? And the element of the year 2025 is...
Illustrious 様、あなたはどのような思いでこの6枚刃を背負っていたんですか。あなたの願い、もっと知りたかった。
パラダイスロスト。
どうしても無茶がしたいなら
星を砕き星を滅すバサラ戦山。
怒涛連撃アルマステールミトライアズ。
いいとこ見せちゃうぞ。必殺技。
心にまとまるステラターミネーション。テアンデイベラボメ。
信頼注げ近畿監修。
禁断診断。
まばゆきは光。
アースオンエ
ア。よう共に舞いましょう。
黒の舞。
カプターンアラテート。
見ててコスモス。
世界の意志を感じる幾多の願いを。
イーモートのユニバース。
エクリブリウム。
And the element of the year 2025 goes to Light. Light with 26.3, but look how close it was. Light 26.3%, 867. And then Water at 26.1, 861 votes. 6 votes separated top 1 and top 2 in this year. And then Dark at 18.7, Fire 15.9, Wind 6.5, and then Earth at 6.5 as well. 2 votes between the bottom 2. 6 votes, you got robbed. Well, Light. Those 6 people, I guess, they disagreed with you. Wind got more votes than Earth. Yes, they did. It's only 2 though. It's about the same. Every vote counts. Every vote counts. Every vote definitely counts. So yeah, the element of the year was 2025. Do you guys agree? I think Light really maybe pulled ahead in people's perceptions with all the fighter origin stuff. I think that's perhaps when they sort of overtook it from Water. I think Water's been close twice, by the way. They almost won the first year over Wind, and they almost won this year. Light winning after everything Water got this year is crazy work. Did Light even get anything this year? Well, Sandy Weapon was this year. Right? Sandy Weapon was this year. Fighter Origin was this year. Fumf, like the Rebalance, that was also this year. There's a lot of incremental increases. It doesn't have to be like a singular release. I personally think. Like, I think if you look at it that way, you can sort of argue that Water didn't really get too much as well. But yeah, it's all these small things that add up, right? FS was last year. Oh yeah, my bad. Sandy wasn't this year. Editing this has fried my brain. Basara was this year, the weapon. Yes, that's what I confused it with. My bad. Amount of HL content. Yeah, I think it's the HL stuff that helped it push through and take first place. FO Falsehood was this year, yes. FO Falsehood was this year, and the Seafoot era was also this year too. I'm in disbelief. The moon weapons, yeah. Funnily enough, right? Light doesn't really use the Illustrious as much as, let's say, like Dark or Earth or things like that, but yeah. Why is that Basara guy there? Because he released this shit. He's part of Light, guys. Don't be mean to Basara. Also, he's a very good top figure here because of his pose. It was for artistic purposes here. All right, but yeah, there was our element of the year 2025. Why is the Mega Summon there? There was an era where Mega Summon was being used. That's why. It's all for the purpose of charge bar game. All right. So, hopefully, chat, you enjoyed all of that. Because yeah, we put in a ton of effort here. Once again, I'd like to personally thank Omikin and Cajun for helping us helping me out with everything. Omikin is like behind pretty much all these slides that you see, making them pretty. It's a lot tougher than you might imagine. Sorry about the errors. We will fix them for the Twitter post and things like that. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the Element of the Year edit. We put in a lot of effort into that, and it was actually one of the first things we worked on this year. I might upload that one separately this year. I'm particularly proud of it. Yeah, I enjoyed making it a lot. It was tough because Light, basically we had to do a lot to make it work. So yeah. If 7, oh yeah, that is one thing. We started making the Element of the Year video before we closed the votes. And you can see how close it was. So if there was a final like 6 voters who went with Water, probably about like 6 to like 8 hours of work would have just gone down the drain. So yeah. All right. Now chat. I did say that I had an announcement for this year. So let me just switch to this scene here. Everyone gets a free spark. No, that is not what I'm announcing. But if I see who mentioned that in chat wants to sponsor that, I would gladly let you do that. So yeah, at Icy if you want that free spark, not me. So chat, I have a big announcement. On the 21st of December this year, so 7 days from now, 7 days from now, will be my last day streaming here in Australia because we're going to Japan. We're going to Japan on the 22nd, and we're going to GBVSR. We'll be going to GBVSR. It's going to be me, Omikin, and Munching. Why did you use a map where the land is blue? Ask Omikin. Anyway, we're going to Japan. It'll be over 2 weeks. We'll be going to Fez. I'll be IRL streaming pretty much all of it. I'll be IRL streaming pretty much all of it, so you'll be able to check that out here on Twitch. So yeah, I made it during the show. Omikin sent me this asset 15 minutes into the show. So yeah. Anyways, so yeah, hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. We'll be visiting a bunch of different places. And yeah, once again, I'll stream as much as I am able to at GBVSR as well. So I'll be there in person. So no at home watching GBVSR stream this year, but yeah, I'll be there in person this year. You see the IRL Park streams or a test? Yes, those are me testing capabilities and all of that stuff. Who's the third one? It is Munching Turtles in chat right now, VIP there. So yeah, we'll be going there. All right, well, chat, thank you so much for watching Granblue Awards this year. Once again, the nerves are just starting to come down, so I'm at a loss of what to say. But thank you so much for voting. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for all the support as well. It is always a ton of work to do these things, but I'm very glad that I'm very glad every time we finish these. While I'm doing it, it's so much work and it's hard to do it. It's hard to push through, but the payoff I think is definitely worth it. So yeah, thank you so much for it. All right. Okay, I'll cut the stream there. Cut the VOD there. Sorry, not the stream, but yeah. Thank you so much for watching.